Hello, everybody. If you saw my video from a day ago, you realized that the card I pulled was the Tower, and the Tower usually freaks a lot of people out. And I've been getting a lot of texts and emails and responses from you guys wondering like what comes next. So I decided to do a reading, a what comes next reading. And granted, it's only going to be for this weekend because I think this weekend. If you've been feeling what I've been feeling, which is the if you've been feeling what I've been feeling, which is sort of some heaviness, sort of some being in your own deep soul, and sort of the idea of wanting to hide from all of humanity, then we're on the right track. So what happened was the Tower card came in at the pivotal time of realizing your own. The Tower card came in at this pivotal time where you have to realize your own abundance. You have to realize your own growth, and you have to realize like what you need to let go because you're holding yourself back. And that's the key. Is like nobody else is ever really going to hold you back. The universe is never going to hold you back. You personally, as a human being, as a flawed human being, you're going to hold yourself back. And it's not that it's even that bad. We tend to get into these whole ideas of well, I want to be comfortable, and comfortableness means I don't want to have to expand myself or my horizons too far. But in not expanding yourself, you keep yourself in this little stuck spot forever. So when something new comes in, or the idea of growth comes in, you shrink back, and it makes you feel a little bit less of a human being. What this card was getting you to do is realize, hey, it's time for growth. It's time to change. I've been putting myself second for so long that now we're in a cycle of the universe literally saying, I need you to put yourself first. I need you to realize your own dreams. And I need you to realize what has been causing you to stay back and stay in the shadows. So instead of staying in the shadows, this reading that I'm going to do, because I've already picked the cards, is what it's doing is as the days progress through this weekend, let's say today to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it's getting you to realize your true goals, your true aspirations, and that the craziness inside of your head really isn't that crazy. The only thing that's truly crazy is you saying, no, I can't do this. No, I can't. No, I shouldn't. It's too scary. It's too hard. Well, here's the funny part is that once you say I can't, I don't, or I won't, the universe, in all of its infinite wisdom, matches that. So if you're saying no, or I can't, or I won't, the universe is like, all right, well, we're not going to do anything for you. We're not going to do anything for you. We're not going to do anything that you truly want to do. We're not going to give you what you truly want. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. So with all the cards that I pulled, the first card that I pulled was the Princess of Cups reversed, and in the normal deck, it's usually the Page of Cups. Princess of Cups reversed is really good for getting out of your own head. So as we move through the weekend, you're getting this whole idea, this whole new feeling of new ideas. You're getting you have the new ideas, but the problem is that like you're doubting you're doubting your own intentions. You're doubting whether or not any of these ideas truly can work, or if you're worthy of having great ideas, or if you're worthy of moving forward in life. You're also kind of acting like a kid, or you may be acting like a kid in which you're like, no, I don't want to do this. I just want to stay in my own little bubble and be okay and be happy with the shit job that I have. But why would you want to do that? So from now until I would say probably the good part of the weekend, you're going to be battling yourself. You're going to be battling like, hey, this is what I really want to do, but I don't know if I can do it. And that's fine. Nobody's going to fault you for battling yourself, but you have to understand that if you're battling yourself, your heart should always win. Yeah, your brain is going to try and keep you safe and keep you placated, but your heart is at this point, because you got the card of everything needs to change. Your heart is probably going to run over your head and go, hey, this is what I want. I don't care if you don't think you can do it. I don't care if you want to act like a little kid, and I don't care if you're sitting there with pencils and you don't know what to do. Do something. Because you get this idea of, we have a new idea, we have a new idea, we have this thing that we want to breathe life into, but you're sitting there going, but no, I don't want to. I'd rather just watch Netflix and chill for the next weekend. But you can do both. The key there is you can do both. You can watch Netflix and chill, and you can also be creative at the same time. Nobody is telling you that you have to pick one or the other. And you can sit there and doubt yourself, but you can also do something that proves the doubt wrong also at the same time. So if you're still doubting yourself and you have all this stuff and you have all these ideas, do something about it. Be creative while you're doubting yourself, and you can prove yourself wrong. So that's what that card is. As we move forward, we're getting the Princess of Swords reversed. It's another card of self-expression, and it's again you're going from doubting everything to sort of talking about how to move forward and the fact that you want to move forward, and doing little things that they're just gonna cause you to make 3 steps forward and 2.5 back. So you're still gaining a half step, but you're all talk. You're not really going to do much about it. And part of this is because you're in these reverse actions right now, and we're still in this period of the Tower card, which is everything is new and all this is grand and all this is crazy and I'm freaking out, but I want my life to move forward, and I want this forward life to have action, and I want to do all this stuff. So you may end up starting to create these actions or these ideas of actions that could potentially fulfill you in the long run. You may not know actually how to make them work for yourself. So instead of actually doing something, you may end up just spending the whole weekend creating a plan that's not going to go anywhere. So what I would say is, during this weekend, if you have any ideas, if you have any feelings of moving forward and that are not the idea of I want to stay put, write them down. If you have an idea, if you have this plan, put it on paper and meditate on it and feel it in your heart. Don't automatically shut something down because it makes no sense. Because the moment you shut something down, you're creating inaction in your own life. And if you're going to create inaction in your own life, you might as well just be dead, because there's no point in living a life that is not fulfilling, correct? That's what I'm trying to tell you. These 2 cards you have right now are basically as much doubting and inaction as you're going to do for this entire weekend. Hopefully, though, it does change, and it will, because through that you get the Knight of Discs. And the Knight of Discs, basically the Knight of Pentacles card, is assessing a situation. So you may spend, like I said, this whole entire weekend doubting your intentions, doubting the actions that are put in front of you, and doubting the ideas that you're coming up with in your heart and in your head, thinking that, no, I can't do this, and I don't know if I want to do this, and I'd rather just Netflix and chill, but maybe I'll write some of it down. You're still going to doubt all that. But throughout the whole weekend, you might come to this realization of, if I just sit with myself for a bit, if I sit with the ideas that are ruminating in my heart and throw what's in my head away, I can assess this plan that I have haphazardly written out and communicated to myself, and maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe it might work. So the Knight of Pentacles is getting you to think about what's in front of you, as a whole, because you have new ideas, and you're trying to express yourself, but there's also the reverse in the same card, the reverse of the reverse, which is kind of the I'm going to call it the reverse of the reverse of the reverse. So there's self-expression and there's ideas, but there's also the doubting, and through the doubting, you're kind of able to talk yourself out of the doubt and into the creative expression in a way. So when the Knight of Pentacles comes in, the Knight of Pentacles is coming in and saying, hey, I'm not happy with my life the way it is, or things can change. As much as I'm doubting myself right now, and as much as I'm doubting my path, and as much as I'm doubting what the Tower card has brought in and how all this new life is going to be created, I still have to create this life. So because there's so much stuff that I want to do, and I'm stuck in this energy of inaction and action and all talk and no action, I'm going to start slowly assessing what's in front of me and what is coming in and how I'm feeling, and go from there. So you may end up making a full-scale 360-degree turn through the weekend, going, no, I can't, no, I can't, no, I can't, maybe I can. I might be able to, screw it, let's write this down and see what it would actually take. Because in assessing a situation, and actually in assessing the blocks that you think you have, as well as the emotional immaturity in your heart and in your brain, let's face it, the emotional immaturity is in your brain, because your brain is just like, but I don't want to do this. Meanwhile, your heart is just saying, but come on, let's create something and make it better for myself and everybody around me. In assessing all of this, you make a 360-degree turn from I can't to, as soon as you get back to the bottom of the circle, it goes from I can't to I can, and I might, and I will, and that's all you really need. You get that spark of, yeah, this is actually possible, because if you've written something down, meditated, and thought on it, and felt it, and then you realize, like, this isn't as hard as I thought it would be, and I can move forward with these small changes in mind. It's not like you're trying to create a totally new life for yourself right now. And I said this the other day, nothing is going to happen right now. What's going to happen is small little incremental changes over the next couple months to get you into a better place. And you end up with the Chariot. And the Chariot is basically the end of the weekend through what, like the middle of next week. So in doing all this negative self-doubt with yourself, and doing the negative self-talk, and then all of a sudden in stepping back and going, okay, let me assess the situation, then you realize, again, all this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and maybe this is something I can do. And by the end of the weekend through the middle of next week, you start to put in this whole mental plan of, okay, maybe I can do this. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be set in motion right now. What it means is that you're going to assess and create a plan to start moving forward. It may take another couple weeks to a couple months in order to fully realize that action, but with the Chariot card, you get this full-fledged movement that wants to happen. You get movement that wants to be realized within yourself, and not just within yourself, but within your psyche. So meanwhile, while the tower is coming down, while your tower is crumbling, and you're wondering what's really going on in your life, you have all this stuff of self-doubt that's leaving. Meanwhile, you're also assessing. Meanwhile, you realize that you got to move anyway. Like, the Chariot card is asking you to move in any direction that you want to. If you're creating inaction in your own life, you're going to be met with more inaction. So right now, the universe is saying, what action do you want to take? Where do you want to go? It doesn't have to be a full action. As long as you make a specific action in any direction, and even if that means writing something down, writing down a timeline of something that may never be realized, you're creating action for yourself, and you're getting yourself out of that fallen tower moment. Because this whole next cycle is asking you to rebuild a tower, to clear out the rubble, and to get out of your own head thinking that you can't do something. Because this card right here, the Chariot, is saying you can do something, you just have to take action to create it in your own life. And as much as you have the self-doubt, you also have the ideas, and you have the way you want to express these ideas. So you're battling yourself, and one of those has to actually win out. And this round, it might be your mind, and you might end up just creating like a small timeline and forgetting it for months. But think about the next 6 months. Like, in the next 6 months, when this cycle comes around again, the Chariot is still going to be there and urging you to move forward for your own life. And if you have family, if you have friends, if you have a loved one, like, you're looking at it as, but what about them? And I'm saying, what about them? Who cares? Who cares about what your family and friends are going to say? This is all about you. This cycle is all about you. If you're going to do something to create action in your life, you're also bringing these people along. So even though you're scared of moving forward in a direction that has no known path at this point, you're creating a path for yourself when you're also creating a path for everybody else. So what's actually happening is you're leading the way for action in everybody else's life. So you're not going to be the only one doing this. You're creating a spark in other people's minds. So if even though you're going, I don't know about this idea, I don't know about this thing, I don't know what's really going on, just the idea of movement is in there, and that movement is creating sparks in other people's heads that you're associated with. So we have this whole idea of the movement is going to happen, but it's up to you. In order to move, you have to be willing to get up, clear out the rubble, and admit that everything isn't as hard as you thought it was going to be. And the moment you say, hey, this is pretty easy, I can do this, I can make an action, is the moment that you start to put one foot in front of the other, and the chariot comes into play and says, we got this. You got this. I got this. I can bring people with me. I can do this. I can affect change in my own life, thereby affecting change in other people's lives. So you're bringing people with you. So hopefully all that made sense. Hopefully you get something out of this reading, because this was fun to do. I loved it. We will talk later. Peace.